Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing the review of the Annihilator, and oh man is this a great tank. This is fantastic. I mean, one of the best tanks in the game. I mean, its main competition of course is the Smasher, and in some ways it's better. Honestly, the only way it's worse is the HE, since the HE isn't fantastic. Honestly, they're about the same. They are honestly about the same. It's pretty much as overpowered as the Smasher. It is ridiculous. And the fantastic thing about this tank is anyone can get it for $10 guaranteed. You just need $10 and you're going to jump up to level 30, get some missions, and you'll get to 45 in no time. So, I mean, Wargame basically handing this thing out for $10 is just, I mean, that's pretty fantastic for most players who are willing to spend a little money. But of course, it's not like it's in crates where it's like almost impossible to get. But this tank, oh man, I mean just, oh, it's so good. You're sitting at 1500 HP, and you have pretty much only armor you have is your turret armor, and you do have some pretty strong sides with some spaced armor. But mostly it's the turret armor. The top of the turret is weak, and then kind of the bottom. But if you kind of swivel it around, it can be pretty good at deflecting shells. Concerning the gun, it has a very good 2,707 DPM. Now, when you compare that to something like the Smasher only has a 2,356 DPM. That's a lot more DPM. And that's why I think, honestly, the Annihilator might be better than the Smasher. But your magazine reload is 13.30 seconds. The thing I think that makes this tank not more overpowered than Smasher, kind of just the same, is the fact that it takes 6.66 seconds to unleash all three of your shells, because it has that triple shot barrel. And that is kind of almost the balancing factor, because you have to wait for a little over half a second before you move if you want to hit all your shells. So you need to keep that in mind. Don't move whenever you are shooting your shells, because it will probably make them miss. As well, just like the Smasher, it has bad AP penetration. Its premium is okay. I mean, it's good enough to go through tier 8s, but it's nothing like super overpowered. Of course, the HE is okay at 45mm, nothing like a Smasher though. But here is the fantastic thing about this tank. This thing has 210 alpha. In 3 of those shots, that's 630 damage in 0.66 seconds. And the gun just doesn't feel like it should do that much. It does so much damage so quickly. It's just like boom, boom, boom. And another thing about this tank, the accuracy is better than the Smasher. It has 4.3 aim time and a dispersion of 0.355. Of course, you can get these all down with equipments, but I'm too poor to get all these, so yeah. As well, another thing about this tank is it has the speed boost, which of course is one of the most overpowered, which can turn a tank from being bad into actually good. And the Smasher doesn't have that. The only downside is, I think, the top speed. That's pretty much it. The top speed is about the only thing. I mean, 25 average. But for the mobility, though, the turret traverse rate, the tank traverse rate, I mean, just look at it. It's medium speed. This thing can traverse so quickly. And honestly, it doesn't feel like it should traverse quite that quickly. We're going to be doing a battle here on Middleburg. It's going to be, I mean, just showcase how good this tank can be, because the tank itself is just amazing. And then you add on a speed boost, and it's just good. It's very good. The playstyle of the tank, I mean, it's similar to the Smasher, yes, that makes sense, to the Smasher. You kind of just roll up and do your thing. I mean, you can actually go hold down in this. It does have 8 degrees of gun depression, which is better than the Smasher. But yeah, it does actually have enough gun depression where it can be useful. 8 degrees, so you can kind of go hold down. Obviously nothing too special. But look at this. This is where look at this tank. I mean, just pew. I mean, more than half his hit points gone. And it has the point at that reload, under 14 seconds, that's when you get a reload where it doesn't feel like that long of a reload. It honestly doesn't feel that long. And when you have basically the same alpha as the Smasher, it's just absolutely fantastic to play with. I'm not sure what our Tankenstein was doing there, But we're going to try to set up a little bit of a side scrape here, but we can't get any shots because none of those guys want to pull back, which is what they probably should do. But we are going to go now push onto this Black Prince because he is pushing around to this SU-152, and if he plays smart, he can easily take out that SU. And since the SU gets him for about 500, of course, we can just shoot him and buy 624 HP no longer. And that's what is so good about this thing. It doesn't feel like it should do that much damage, but when you pull out and see how much damage it ends up doing, it feels almost ridiculous. I'm not sure what Wargaming was thinking when they decided, hey, let's put this tank for $10. Like, it's so cheap. The tank is so cheap. Anybody who thinks this event isn't good, oh man, this is a really good event. If you think this is a bad event, I don't know what you are thinking a good event is. Free smashers, like a free smasher, Gravedigger, and T-22 medium. I mean, this thing is $10. What can you ask for better? But, I mean, the tank is ridiculous, like I said. There's really the only weak point is, I mean, if you miss your shells, which happens sometimes, but even if you only get in 2, it really still doesn't feel like you're missing out on that much, just because of how quick the reload is. And, of course, you don't have the most top speed, but with the speed boost and that great traverse rate, it's really nothing to worry about. You're pretty much impossible. You're impossible to circle. So, I mean, that's the Annihilator, guys. It's a fantastic tank. If you were wondering, should I spend the $10 to get this? Yes, you should. It is definitely worth it. This tank is ridiculously overpowered, and it's definitely worth it. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.